2, and 5, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, unanimously carries. That's going to be tabled. And we're going to jump back and go give you allowing the public to address us. There was some oversight regarding Mrs. Alexandra. I don't know if it was me or the system or whatever, but I guess Ms. Pato had something to say on her behalf.
Yes, she submitted, Vanessa Alexander submitted a written public comment, which is as follows. Members of the Gaming Control Board, I am writing to you as a taxpayer and a member of the public asking for answers and actions. Since 2021, I have been investigating and reporting misconduct taking place within the New Mexico racing industry. I am sure you are aware of the red flag slash SWAT hoax, the NMRC submitted on the afternoon of December 10th, 2021, after my confidential report I submitted that same morning to a director with the Attorney General. But I had found up to that. I would like to know if and when the Gaming Control Board is going to address the following issues. Number 1, the NMRC and racetracks concealing and withholding sales and hundreds of thousands of dollars in purses that went unpaid, and bounced countless checks that the horsemen bore the cost of being swapped for cash. Were those bounced check fees made right? Were the cash paid recorded and accounted? Does the G plan on investigating the actual reasons these are you going to set the explanations and excuses and let it continue? Number 2, spring of 2022, the NMRC held a series of illicit rule change meetings. We know that illicit activities happened in the NMRC of the January and February 2022 meetings have been useful. Several of those unlawful rule changes were the erasures of the phrase New Mexico Horsemen's Association from the NMRC and the promotion of the New Mexico Horse Breeders Association to the horsemen's decades-long held role of oversight, accounting, and reporting of the hundreds of millions of dollars in gaming purse funds. In May of 2022, point 2.2.9 was officially changed in statute, mandating that the Breeders Association do the weekly oversight, accounting, and reporting of those gaming purse funds. Is the Gaming Control Board aware that this mandated accounting and reporting has not been done once in 2022? The tracks have virtually no oversight since your agency assistant tracks in NMRC and the Gaming Control Board plan on taking action on the secret correspondence and planning between certain members of the Breeders Board, tracks, and the NMRC to violate and circumvent state law and federal law. This is organized crime. Number 3, I continue to discover hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars have been embezzled from the horsemen's racetrack account. This has been occurring as far back as a decade, and I have no doubt that the amount of embezzled funds will surpass 7 figures, of course, and as usual, my evidence reports have only been used by the NMRC and are working on how to conceal these acts. Ironically, the fabricated confusion as to why Wells Fargo started a hold or even refused checks from them should have been a clue. Number 4, does the Gaming Control Board intend on doing anything about the NMRC paying out hundreds of thousands of dollars in purses despite lawful and timely appeals having been filed, which should have questioned. Several of those appeals have been overturned, and the Racing Commission is to approve those reversals tomorrow unless they are going to deny the reversals so they can conceal the fact that the purses were already unlawfully paid out. Number 5, is the Gaming Control Board going to take any action on the racing fraud, racketeering, money laundering, and collusion that the NMRC's so-called chief investigator, Lisa Johnson, admitted to her oath? How long has the GCB known that Lisa Johnson is an alias? How long has the GCB known that Johnson's military federal agent and law enforcement career claims are completely false? Does the board intend on taking any action regarding the countless documented examples of Lisa Johnson and Ismael Trejo lying under oath? Have any of the board members ever actually examined Johnson's so-called investigatory reports and noted how poorly written and nonsensical many of them are? I submit to the GCB the part of Johnson's deposition I recorded in my litigation against the NMRC. Those of you with military and law enforcement backgrounds will not appreciate the behavior and lies in this video. And when you get to the Sanchez brothers investigation and admissions that the Attorney General and Racing Commission has knowingly allowed fraud to take place nearly unabated and in the open, perhaps you will understand why the NMRC took such extreme overkill actions to attempt to force me to abandon my investigation. She attached a video that's from YouTube. I'll forward it to you all. She concludes that I have a great deal more misconduct and illicit activity to inform you of. I will await the board response and action, if any, on these first. Sincerely, Vanessa Alexander, investigative researcher. P.S. The tracks in NMRC having a jolly laugh at the last NMRC meeting after referring to the horsemen as terrorists is a perfect demonstration of the abuse and disrespect we have been put through by this commission. Does the GCB know that Sam Bregman permanently removed the public comment from the NMRC meetings, so the misinformation, lies, and abuse that takes place in NMRC meetings can go completely unchallenged?
Thank you. Will you include a copy of her letter when you give us the video? All right. I don't think any of the members of the board have any questions or comments to make on that matter. Thank her for her time. And again, if I did not see her hand up, it's my fault. My apologies are extended to her. Next up, licensing one new application for business and nonprofit key persons, A through H, with the stipulation